Most people, when faced with challenges, immediately focus on what's going wrong. They say, I can't do this, or this is impossible. But people who think like the rich have trained their minds to see something entirely different. They don't get stuck in problems. They search for the opportunity hidden inside those problems. They don't run from failure. They learn from it. That is the power of mindset. When you see an obstacle, you're often looking at a situation that demands change. Maybe it's a lack of money, a job that doesn't fulfill you, or a setback in your business or personal life. For some, that becomes the end of the road. They stop trying. But for others, especially those who think like the rich, that obstacle is the beginning of innovation. It's the spark for a new idea, a new approach, or even a whole new career. Think about the stories of successful people. Many of them didn't start off rich. They started with problems, serious ones. Oprah Winfrey faced poverty and abuse. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. J.K. Rowling was a single mother on welfare. What made the difference? They chose to see the possibilities in their circumstances. Instead of being buried by problems, they built their success on top of them.
This mindset shift is not magic, it's a decision. It means asking better questions. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of thinking, I failed, ask, what can I do better next time?
The rich thinker is constantly looking for the angle, the advantage, the door that others don't even notice. They believe every closed door is leading them to a better one if they keep moving. This way of thinking creates action. When you focus on opportunities, you take initiative. You start thinking creatively. If a product fails, you explore why and improve it. If you don't have money to start a business, you look for partnerships, crowdfunding, or side hustles to raise capital. You stop waiting for the perfect condition and you start creating better conditions. It also builds resilience. When you train yourself to focus on what can be done rather than what's missing, you become mentally tougher. Life doesn't knock you down so easily. Yes, you still feel the pain of failure, rejection, or loss, but you bounce back quicker because your mind is trained to ask, what's next? And don't forget, the world is full of problems waiting for solutions. That's why entrepreneurs exist. Every business, every invention, every piece of technology we use today came from someone seeing an obstacle and saying, there must be a better way. The rich don't avoid problems, they chase them. Because solving problems is how value is created, and where value is created, wealth follows. So if you want to think like the rich, start with this one simple shift. Don't panic in the face of a problem. Pause. Breathe and look again. Ask yourself, where is the opportunity in this? With time and practice, your mind will learn to spot the silver lining quicker. And when you do that, you don't just change your thinking, you change your entire life. The moment you stop seeing obstacles and start seeing opportunities is the moment your success truly begins. Investing in yourself is one of the most powerful and life-changing decisions you can make. It's not about being selfish or focusing only on your personal gain. It's about recognizing your own potential and making the conscious effort to grow, improve, and evolve every single day. People who think like the rich understand this deeply. They know that real success begins from within. They don't wait for the world to change around them. They change themselves first. When you invest in yourself, you are telling the world that you believe in your own value. That belief is powerful. It shapes your confidence, your attitude, and your ability to take on challenges. Think about it. How can you expect others to believe in you, to support you, or to work with you if you don't believe in yourself first? Rich thinkers read books, listen to podcasts, attend seminars, and learn from mentors. They understand that knowledge is not just power, it's freedom. Freedom from ignorance, fear, and stagnation. Every new thing you learn becomes a tool in your toolbox, something you can use to build a better future. And it's not just about formal education. It's about real learning, learning that feeds your mind, sharpens your skills, and broadens your perspective. Personal growth also means taking care of your physical and mental health. Exercise, good nutrition, meditation, rest. These aren't luxuries, they're essentials. You can't build an empire if your body is weak or your mind is constantly anxious and drained. The rich invest in their well-being because they know their health is their foundation. A strong, clear, and focused mind is far more capable of making smart decisions and staying productive. Sometimes, investing in yourself means stepping out of your comfort zone. It might mean learning a new language, starting a side hustle, taking a course, or even leaving a job that no longer serves your purpose. These choices are not always easy, but they are necessary if you want to grow. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you challenge yourself, when you dare to do things differently. Time is one of the most valuable assets you have, and how you spend it says a lot about your priorities. People who think like the rich use their time wisely. They choose to spend time building their future instead of wasting it on distractions, scrolling endlessly on social media, watching shows or engaging in gossip may give you temporary pleasure, but they rarely bring long-term growth. On the other hand, spending just 1 hour a day learning something new or working on a goal can transform your life in a year. Another important aspect of self-investment is believing that you are worthy of success. Too many people hold themselves back because they think they're not smart enough, skilled enough, or lucky enough. But people with a rich mindset know that success is not about luck, it's about preparation. And preparation comes from investing time, effort, and belief into your own growth. It's also important to remember that investing in yourself is not a one-time act. It's a lifelong journey. There is always more to learn, more ways to improve, more goals to chase. And with every step you take toward bettering yourself, your life begins to change. You start attracting better opportunities, better people, and better outcomes. So, choose to be your greatest investment. Learn daily, grow steadily, believe fiercely, because the richer your mind and soul become, the more powerful your life will be. Everything starts with you, and when you rise, everything around you rises too. Thinking long-term is one of the most essential qualities of people who build lasting success. While many focus on quick rewards, instant results, and shortcuts, those with a rich mindset understand the power of patience, vision, and strategy. They don't just chase what looks good today, they build what will matter tomorrow. They think in years, not minutes. They plan not only for themselves, but for generations to come. This mindset begins with clarity. When you have a long-term vision, you make decisions differently. You don't get swayed by trends or temporary emotions. You ask yourself, how will this choice impact me in 5 years, 10 years? That question alone separates the successful from the distracted. It makes you more intentional, more focused, and more resilient. In a world that glorifies speed and overnight fame, it's easy to forget that real growth takes time. A tree doesn't grow overnight. Neither does a career, a business, or a strong character. Those who think long-term are willing to be patient. They understand that the best results come from consistency over time. They know that planting seeds today, whether in the form of habits, relationships, skills, or savings, will lead to a harvest later. The short-term thinker wants to see results tomorrow. The long-term thinker is focused on building something that lasts. People who think long-term are also better at handling failure. When things go wrong, and they always do at some point, those with a short long-term mindset often give up. But long-term thinkers see failure as part of the journey. They understand that one bad day, one rejection, or one mistake does not define their entire path. They stay committed because their eyes are on the bigger picture. This mindset also helps in building wealth. Financial success doesn't come from quick schemes or risky bets. It comes from long-term planning, saving, investing, and making wise choices repeatedly. It means saying no to short-term pleasures so you can say yes to long-term freedom. Those who think like the rich don't waste their resources on things that won't matter in a year. They put their money, time, and energy into things that will grow in value. Relationships, too, benefit from long-term thinking. Whether it's with friends, family, or business partners, lasting relationships are built on trust, patience, and mutual growth. Quick judgments and impulsive decisions can damage bonds. But when you think long-term, you listen more, forgive more, and invest more effort in nurturing those connections. Long-term thinkers also create legacy. They don't just live for themselves. They think about the impact they will leave behind. This could be in the form of a business, a book, a foundation, or simply the lessons they pass on to others. They ask themselves, what will people remember about me? And they live in a way that aligns with their answer. Adopting this mindset requires discipline. It's not always easy to delay gratification or stay focused when others around you are chasing quick wins. But every step taken with patience and purpose adds up. Over time, the person who thinks long-term will always outpace the one who rushes. So, instead of looking for what will bring joy today, ask what will bring fulfillment tomorrow. Instead of reacting to life, start designing it. Build habits that serve your future. Make sacrifices today that your future self will thank you for. Because when you think long-term, you don't just survive. You build a life that's strong, meaningful, and truly rich in every sense. The people you surround yourself with have a powerful influence on your mindset, habits, and future. Just like a plant grows better in rich, nourishing soil, you grow better when you're surrounded by people who challenge, support, and inspire you. If you want to think like the rich, one of the most important things you can do is surround yourself with winners. People who are driven, positive, focused, and committed to growth. Winners are not just those who have achieved success, but those who are actively working toward it. They're not perfect, but they have the right mindset. They don't complain. They create. They don't waste time blaming others. They take responsibility. Being around people like this rubs off on you. Their energy, their thinking, their discipline, it pushes you to level up. When you're constantly in the company of people who are lazy, negative, or stuck in victim mode, it becomes very difficult to rise above that environment. You may not notice it right away, but over time, your standards begin to slip. You start to accept average as normal. You stop dreaming big. You shrink to fit the crowd. That's why it's said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're serious about success, take a close look at your circle. Winners think differently. They have goals. They take action. They bounce back from failure. They read. They learn. They push themselves. When you're around people like that, you naturally begin to adopt those same qualities. You start setting higher standards for yourself. You become more focused. You stop settling for less. That's the kind of energy that transforms your life. And it's not just about motivation. It's about accountability. Winners hold each other to a higher level. They remind you of your goals when you forget. They encourage you when you feel like giving up. They challenge your excuses and help you see your blind spots. Being in the right environment makes growth not only easier, but inevitable. Surrounding yourself with winners doesn't mean cutting off everyone who isn't successful. It simply means being intentional about the kind of energy you allow into your life. If someone drains your motivation, constantly complains, or tries to pull you down when you try to rise. You need to protect your energy. That might mean spending less time with them or setting boundaries. On the other hand, when you meet someone who inspires you, learn from them, ask questions, offer value, build a relationship. Sometimes, especially in the beginning, you may not have access to successful people in person. That's okay. You can still surround yourself with winners by listening to their podcasts, reading their books, watching their interviews, and joining online communities of growth-minded individuals. What matters is that you are feeding your mind and soul with the kind of energy that lifts you up. As you grow, your circle will begin to change. You'll attract different people, people who align with your vision, who share your values, and who are moving forward just like you. Your environment will start to reflect your inner growth, and success will feel more natural, more achievable. Never underestimate the power of your circle. It can either keep you stuck or pull you higher. Choose to surround yourself with winners, people who dream big, act bold, and refuse to give up. Their influence will push you to become the best version of yourself. And as you grow, you'll become a winner who inspires others too. True success isn't just measured by what you accumulate, it's measured by what you give. The richest people in the world, not just in terms of money, but also in impact and legacy, understand this. They know that giving back isn't just a kind act, it's a powerful principle of life. When you give, you grow. When you share your time, knowledge, resources, or kindness with others, you don't become poorer. You become richer in ways that truly matter. Giving back creates a sense of purpose that money alone can't provide. You can have all the wealth in the world, but if you don't use it to make a difference, there's a part of you that will always feel empty. Real fulfillment comes from contributing to something bigger than yourself. It might be helping a struggling student, feeding a hungry family, mentoring someone who's lost, or simply being there for someone who needs hope. These acts may seem small, but their impact is massive. When you give, you also create a ripple effect. One kind act can inspire another. A donation can spark a movement. A piece of advice can change a life. You never know how far your generosity can go. Rich thinkers understand this, which is why so many of them are also great givers. They don't wait until they've made it to give. They start where they are with what they have. Because giving isn't about how much you have, it's about the size of your heart. Giving back also keeps you grounded. Success can sometimes inflate the ego. It can make people forget where they came from. But when you stay connected to your roots, when you give back to the community that helped shape you, it reminds you that we're all connected. It humbles you. It keeps you human. No matter how high you rise, giving ensures you never lose touch with the values that truly matter. It also builds trust and goodwill. In business, giving back can strengthen your brand and reputation. People support businesses and individuals who care, not just about profit, but about people. Whether it's through charitable initiatives, fair practices, or community involvement, giving back creates a legacy that lasts longer than any product or service ever could. But giving isn't only for the wealthy or powerful. Anyone can give. Your time, your words, your support. They're all valuable. Sometimes just listening to someone who feels invisible can change their entire day. Sometimes sharing your story can give someone else the courage to keep going. Everyone has something to offer, and every act of kindness matters. Moreover, giving has emotional and mental benefits. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It boosts gratitude and joy. Studies even show that people who give are happier and healthier. When you help others, you feel more connected, more alive, and more at peace. That's a return no investment portfolio can match. In the end, life isn't just about climbing the ladder. It's about reaching back and lifting others with you. Giving back is not a duty, it's a privilege. It's the sign of true strength, wisdom, and wealth. So as you grow, as you achieve, as you succeed, never forget to give. because what you give today may be the reason someone else believes in tomorrow. And in that act, you don't just change their life, you change yours too. Every great success story begins with belief. Not just belief in an idea, but belief in the self. The deep, unshakable knowing that you have the power to shape your future. People who think like the rich understand this truth well. Success is not something that happens to you by luck or chance. It is something you create with intention, effort, and faith in your own potential. If you do not believe in your power to succeed, you will never take the steps necessary to reach your dreams. Belief is the fuel that drives action. When you believe that you can achieve something, you take risks, you push through setbacks, and you keep going even when the path is hard. On the other hand, when you doubt yourself, you hold back. You procrastinate, you second, guess, and you settle for less than what you're capable of. That's why belief isn't just a feeling. It's the foundation of everything. Your thoughts shape your reality. What you believe, you begin to attract. If you constantly think you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not lucky enough, you create a mental barrier that stops you from growing. But when you flip that thinking and say, I can learn this, I can improve, I can rise, you open the door to opportunities. Belief allows you to see possibilities where others see limits. Creating success starts from within. You don't need perfect circumstances, a fancy background, or everyone's approval to begin. What you need is the inner fire to say, I will create my path. Every successful person started as an ordinary person with an extraordinary mindset. They believed in themselves before others did. They saw a vision in their mind and chased it until it became real. This kind of belief is not blind or arrogant. It's built through discipline, learning, and small wins. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build self-trust. Every time you fail and try again, your belief grows stronger. Belief is not about never falling, it's about never staying down. Rich thinkers are not fearless, they just choose faith over fear. They know that the power to succeed lies within them, not outside. Another important part of believing in your power is silencing the noise around you. Not everyone will understand your dreams, some will doubt you. Some will laugh, but that's okay. Their disbelief does not define your destiny. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself. Protect your vision, speak life over your goals, and keep going even when no one else claps for you. Your power to create success also comes from action. Belief without action is just a wish, but when you combine strong belief with consistent effort, you become unstoppable. You don't wait for permission. You create opportunities. You stop making excuses and start finding solutions. That's how you turn belief into reality. Over time, your success becomes proof, not just to others but to yourself, that you were always capable. You start inspiring others to believe in themselves too. You become the example, the evidence, the light that shows what's possible when you believe. So no matter where you are right now, know this, you have the power to create success. It starts with belief. Believe in your ideas, your voice, your growth. Believe that you are worthy of success and that you have everything it takes to get there. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And it all begins when you choose to believe in your power.